Boxing King Media. Delighted to be joined by Robert Smith from the Boxing Board. Mr. Smith, I just wanted to ask you a few questions about some confusion amongst boxing fans about. We'll start off with the British heavyweight title. Recently, you've obviously announced Fabio Wardley has got to fight Fraser Clark. We've seen from Ben Shalom, I think he's suggested that he feels like Fraser's inexperience suggesting that and not had the rounds. So I just wanted to kind of explain from the Boxing Board's point of view how you come to that decision that Fraser Clark should fight Fabio next.
We had a request from Fraser Clark's management to be considered for the British Championship. So we took that on board and we put it out. Simple as that.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So it's not a case of you, because I've seen in the past where people have argued and said, well, this fighter's not done 10 rounds before and he's not fought a British opponent. Does them sort of things come into account as well?
Of course they do, but Fraser's been a professional for a long time in the amateur game. As I say, his management asked for it to be considered. We accepted that consideration. The board decided to put it out.
Because on paper, Sol Dacres obviously has done 10 rounds, he's the English heavyweight champion. Was he ever considered, or is it just a case of you see what's on offer? And how do you make that decision? That's what I wanted to ask you.
It's a very difficult decision to make, but when we get requests, etc., and you look at the stance of the boxers, look what they've done, and then it was a very, as I say, difficult decision because there's two good, outstanding champions. Somebody's got to win that decision, and the decision was Fraser.
You'll see people, you would have seen boxers saying, the Boxing Board are old school, they need to come with the times and be a bit more open. So I just want to see from your point of view, kind of explain what procedure takes place. Like, is there 6-7 people around the table and everyone kind of puts their argument across? Is it like that?
Yeah. We have a board, so we have 7 area councils, and they're all represented in the board meetings. So at the board meeting, there's 13 people. We make a decision. I put forward the requests of everybody. They make a decision, job done.
And then just a final point on that one particular fight. I think Eddie Hearn has said if Fraser has a fight in between, the fight can't take place anymore. Is that correct, or could that rule be slightly bent?
We haven't got a purse bid one yet. Let's just see what the purse bid happens. If Eddie Hearn wins the purse bid, he wants to put a fight in June and July, then he can't fight. If Boxer wins, or Ben Shalom wins the purse bid, and he wants to put it in September, he can fight. So let's just see what happens next week.
And this last thing on the purse bid situation, how does that happen? So there'll be loads of people watching this who won't have a clue. Is it a case that somebody puts an envelope in and puts what they want?
They put forward a bid. It's like an auction, ultimately. So therefore, we put a bid out, and they put in a purse, and the winner wins it.
Would you ever consider doing an open auction? I don't know if that would mean the fighters get paid more money, where it's like open bidding.
Well, they're allowed to come to the board meeting to open the envelope, so it's an open bidding.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's just say Eddie Hearn says, right, 1 million, then could Ben Shalom then go 1.2, like that?
No. It's quite simple. If you start doing things like that, and then somebody's going to accuse you of telling the other promoter what they bid and what you haven't bid, it's an envelope comes in, that's the bid, and then we pick the biggest one.
And the last thing I want to speak to you about, and I know, with the British title, you've got to defend it 3 times, I think it is, before you can win it outright. But, with the English titles and the Centre Area titles, I'm speaking to fighters on the small old scene, a lot of them, obviously, they can't win it outright unless they pay for it. Is it fair that they've got to pay for it? Could something be done? Because a lot of these fighters who probably will never get past Central Area or English title level, it's a big thing for them, winning them titles.
Well, the area champions, English champions, have never been able to be given a belt. So it's up to them what they do after that. British champions are different. Lonsdale belt is a completely different scenario altogether. You need to win 4 fights, and one of them has to be mandatory, right? So you could win, lose, but one defence has to be mandatory. So English and area champions are different, but we're not going to change that.
Good stuff. Thank you very much for your time.
No problem.
Right, thank you. Appreciate that.
Take care. Cheers.